Hello there, this is Matthew Miller on the Eco Delivery Podcast, and yes, today is the 22nd April 2019, and on this podcast, I'm going to be talking about climate change and solar management and why that climate change is nothing that we should be worried about, because climate always changes in the past 4 billion years since the Earth was formed. So I don't know why we should worry about climate change, because we should, because it changes all the time. And what is the main driver of climate change? Is that ball, it's a ball of fire in this, in space, which is called the sun, and which is about 150 million kilometers away and 73 miles away. So, any further ado, so let's get to it. And let's talk about this one. Angry protesters demand the BBC increase their climate change coverage. They just so I said, oh, not much coverage about climate change. Yes, there is. They just want their lies, more of their lies to be shared around so they can push. Just because they're all brainwashed. Yeah, they're all brainwashed as well. So, I also have one on my New Zealand, on New Zealand stuff on the article as well. This is the group that's called Extinction Rebellion turned off water at the South, claimed that the water mains was the way to Caney. What is Caney? They're dealing with water that's... Well, people do know that we actually do have plenty of water on Earth as well. Tons of water. Because, if we do have... it's called primary water. It's between the Earth crust and the mantle, If we had the access of the primary water source, man, we will never be able to run out of water. Never. So let's just end the video. Let's see what they got to say. It's about 1:12. Just trying to load, so...
We are here to declare rebellion against ECAN because we see there's an ecological emergency and ECAN needs to start acting like it. We declare non-violent rebellion against the violent country for criminal inaction of the ecological emergency. So we're going to go up to ECAN, into ECAN if we can, and reading a declaration of rebellion. Following that, we're going to leave, and with that, symbolically withdrawing.
What is that blue ribbon thing they're carrying along, that little blue banner? What the hell they're carrying? Yeah, what the hell are they carrying that for? Well, let's continue.
Sent ECAN as a protector of our water. The water issue is really big. They're taking some blue cloth, and then we're coming down, and we're going to turn off ECAN's water supply, the first act of rebellion. No, we're here today.
Yeah, turning off that water supply. Turn off. Well, what if people need some water?
Protect the water, and they'll stand strong enough conviction that ECAN shouldn't be touching it. So we've turned the water off again, and continue to rebel and demand that ECAN starts acting.
Climate change brings droughts. Well, drought always comes and goes. So, of course it always brings drought. It always comes and goes. Yeah. It comes and goes. So, let's find the word ECAN. What the hell is that? I don't even know what it really is. Yeah, there it is. Here, but... Canon. Yeah. Yeah, the river flow data or something, environment, Canterbury or something. Yeah, that's what. I'm not sure of here, but well, let's just move on.
To respond to the ecological emergency that
Well, because farmers need water to keep their crops watered as well. If we don't have crops, people know it's our food source, and we need food. So that's the bigger people though. And there's another one thing about climate change, another one fun stuff. Climate change, I reply to the most 5 comments. Well, let's go to it. Taking a little bit longer to load, so.
Climate change, it's real, it affects us all, and climate scientists say if we don't act, there will be irreversible damage to our planet within decades. The solution, cut greenhouse gas emissions and change to clean, green energy. But don't wait for politicians to make the switch. There's plenty we can all do to reduce our carbon footprint. Number 1, become more energy efficient. Insulate our homes, use energy saver light bulbs and appliances, and if we're not using the lights, switch them off. Better still, make the switch to renewable energy. Number 2 is a bit more of a challenge, but the costs of going green are going down as more of us use it. Number 3 is another big ask for many of us. Our cars are major carbon dioxide polluters, so consider using the car a little less. And if we need a new one, going electric. And no matter what we drive, maintain it. Deflated tyres turn our cars into gas guzzlers. Number 4, it's the 3 R's. Reuse what you have, recycle what you don't need, and the big focus right now, reduce. Especially single-use plastics like these.
Yeah, but actually the problem is that with those plastics that we actually get recycled, we're just sending all our wastes to other countries as well, so all those things ain't really getting recycled as well, so it's, yeah, it's just, yeah, plastic is a real issue, people. It is a real issue. And I ain't going to get to that real soon, so let's continue.
They choke our oceans, clog the landfill, and are made from fossil fuels. Finally, consider going flexitarian. Scientists say eating a little less meat, less dairy, fewer eggs, and embracing a more plant-based diet will help save our planet from the deforestation, water pollution, and greenhouse gases that record numbers of livestock produce.
Yeah,
Each one of us can make a difference and inspire a ripple of change to hold our politicians and the fossil fuels industry to account and protect our planet while there's still time.
Well, they want us to start eating meat, and yeah, they really want us to not eat meat. In fact, we do need meat in our diet as well, because all the vitamins in that diet, which you won't find in plants as well, like vitamin B12. And yes, we do need animals that do graze the ground in that though. And I actually had watched a video of that recently as well, and I'll have a link down there below as well. It's about almost 50 minutes long, worth watching, and they talk about the living soil and universal underfoot as well, and it's, yeah, once after the crops has been harvested as well, you should actually just send livestock to eat all the remains as well, and so all the animal manure will actually get into the ground as well. And it fertilizes the soil, replenishes the soil as well. So, yeah. Well, it's time to move on to the solar minimum as well, and yes, we are probably facing it as well, and because our sun activities is in a decline as well, and we're actually almost coming to the end of cycle 24, and we're not sure when the next cycle is going to begin as well. and we're not going to sure how strong the cycle is going to be. It could be weak or strong, and as well, but depends how the sun is going. It is going to affect agriculture as well. So, and there's people that actually do cover about the solar minimum, like at that 2030. I always say that about that as well. So worth looking into that as well. And yes, and there's also Ice Age Farmer, which I do follow them on WordPress as well. He has a WordPress blog as well, and I follow him on that as well. And if you do have a WordPress blog though, then yeah, do follow Ice Age Farmer as well. He's got some good content there as well, and he does keep on update how the crops are getting affected with the cold times as well, with the oncoming solar minimum as well. So yeah, so let's get to it then. And that's one that I actually managed to find the link through the New Zealand Climate Science Coalition, and these people in New Zealand, they actually exposed the climate cold as well, and exposed that as well, and this shows the signs that climate change and the 10 warning signs for cold. Absolute authoritarian without meaningful accountability, and no tolerance for questions or critical inquiry or something. Yeah, inquiry. No meaningful financial disclosure regarding of the budget expenses such as independently. Yeah, well, people are not always that great with people, so I'm just going to move on there. I'll have a link on there if you want to read the whole thing as well, so I'm not going to go through as well, because time's really flying through show as well, and then there's one thing about the solar minimum. They do talk about volcanoes as well. I think the most recent eruption as well is from Mount Aran. Yeah, that's like near Bali or something. That's in Indonesia, and yeah, also have a link down there below as well. And that volcano's been going on for a while as well, probably since 2017, and yeah, it's been going on since August 2017, and see the activities and that as well. So yeah, so I'm going to move on. So back to plastic pollution, and yes, that is a real issue. Fish will end up eating it, will end up getting into guts in there, and probably even end up killing it as well. And the fact is, we need to take care of our waste properly as well, or otherwise, here, if we don't, it will soon one day it is going to end up coming back to us as well, and probably already is, and yeah, already is. So, and there's the birds with all the plastic in their guts as well, and yeah, that's horrific, and that's why we've got to learn to take care of our waste properly and have it recycled properly. But without recycling waste, it just gets into other countries as well. We're not even reusing our own waste. And I know that plastic is actually made from like petroleum products as well, from petroleum, and yeah. And there's also another one movie on that says that tell us that grass-fed beef is bad for the planet and causes cancer. Wrong. climate always changes in that though. It's not just the cows that make methane, other animals as well. So they just want to keep pushing all that global warming narrative to try to discourage us from eating meat to go big, which is the most unhealthiest diet of the lot as well. And there's those activists as well, and the mainstream media and the government even pushing that as well, and the unhealthiest is the unhealthiest diet as well. It's not going to end up making us sick if they do get their way as well, and people should make their minds up when it comes to, like, if they even want to eat meat or not. It should be up for the people, and rather than having the government to decide what we shall eat. It's just horrendous, and it's just they should just leave us alone. And hey, vegans, I bet you won't be left alone as well, but hey, leave the meat eaters alone as well. And yeah, that's how it yeah, it's just crazy, and if they were, it's just ever, I just wonder if the world's ever going to straighten up in my lifetime as well. I would like to see the world straighten up, and oh yeah, then it's getting pretty slow as well, and I'm doing a video as well, and yeah, I'm being actually getting through quite quickly as well. I think there's actually something I actually have found as well. That's from Alexander Cortex, and that mentioned, and that's one that's actually have been hit, and this link from what's up with that as well, and a baby face, the Sino Cornet likes you're the real one. So let's just go to it. Look like it's have been taken off on Twitter. It's just quite so sensitive. Must be so, man. So there's actually going to be a link to this on the sources as well, so I get this be up and going, and yeah, no, it's just that Cena Cordes and that green deal that she tried to get past through center and never got past at all. And there are 0 votes for it as well. 0. Because it's just crazy. I probably have never read the Green Deal as well. If you know what it is, people, please let me know in the comments below, and link me the sources as well, so I can read it as well. And yeah, probably end sort of coming to the end as well, and it's actually been a good podcast as well, but let's read what this Earth Day thing is all about as well. Earth Day is an annual event that's celebrated on the 22nd of April. Here's I'm doing a podcast about it as well. And first was celebrated in 1970, so that's 49 years ago. And then next year will be 50 years ago for next year as well. So yeah, 49 years ago, that's when the first Earth Day thing will start as well. And so people, I'm going to just say what was my view for Earth Day's thing as well. Well, there's one thing I was going to cover about as well is that CO2 actually greens the planet. Yeah, greens the planet. Yeah. Because plants actually breathe in CO2 as well, and yeah, there it is, plants. Sorry, people. And there it is, people. Benefits to plants as well, and yeah, and that's from plantsneedco2.org as well. Source that one there as well, and it's also got a positive effect on agriculture as well. Yeah, because gotta get a glass of water, so I'll just be back for the moment. Yeah, it's just my throat was starting to get dry because I've been talking for a long time as well, so as it says in the last paragraph, join us as we explore these important benefits of that raising CO2 concentration are a big story on the plants. Carbon dioxide emissions are resulting from the burning of fossil fuels that should not be feared, but something that we should be celebrated. Yeah, well said, because with all the extra CO2, plants can breathe in more, and it gives us oxygen as well, and plants gives us oxygen for us to breathe as well, then it actually helps the plants to grow as well. Yeah, just got a dry throat now, because I've been talking a lot as well, and yeah, so it's time to get on my view as well, and yes, Earth is a lovely planet to be on as well, and if you don't want to go to space, well, you are in space. You are in space. You're on this nice, gorgeous planet. And it is called Earth, and it's got some water and land as well, and trees grow out of the ground, and some animals as well, fish in the ocean, Earth that flies in the sky. Yeah. And the fact is that polar bears are actually doing fine as well, and since the 1950s and 60s, the polar bears numbers have been exploding as well, and yeah, and the fact is the ice is actually stored there in the Arctic Ocean. Here, like what Al Gore was telling us that the ocean will be ice free like by 2013 or 2014 or something. But the thing is, the ice is still here. Yeah, still here. So there's the good news here. And the fact is, the ice is actually an engine of life as well, because all the cold in there as well, and well, yeah, and there's also like very climate hustle as well. It's actually worth watching as well, and that's from far from that actually. And there's one thing and there's one of the councils in New Zealand that don't accept the government climate bill, and that's actually good news for New Zealand, and they are saying, oh, we won't know if that's actually the case. They were pretty skeptical as well. And the thing is, people are not a climate denier, because I don't even deny there's actually a climate. And the fact is, there is a climate, and it changes all the time. It changes every day. So it's nothing that we should be too worried about it as well. And we want to focus on the real issues of environment, like the plastics, the plastic pollution. That's the real issue, because the animals do, eating the fish and the birds as well. and there's ways of having the plastic recycled as well, and there's also a YouTube video on it that can actually how to make that shred as well. Shreds out the plastic so you can make the particles small enough so it melts the plastic and it turns into like 3D filament as well, and it's actually on YouTube as well. Oh yes, people, this has actually really been a good podcast for the moment as well, and I think it was actually gonna be that short as well, and it's although we actually just passed 25 minutes as well, but yeah, no, the media is actually just gonna keep pushing that global warming narrative to push their agenda, yeah. So that's one thing I'll always be bearing in mind because what the media's been doing as well, because they're always gonna keep pushing that climate and that global warming hysteria thing full steam ahead. So they can bring in that Agenda 21 thing as well, get us off our land into jam-packed cities as well, because that's what it's all about, and it's about getting us to pay that carbon tax as well. They're trying like so to tax us to death or something, and yeah, so that's something to bear in mind here. My throat is still dry. Talking like so long, and I probably said it many times though. So people, well, I ain't gonna just end it right here though. I hope you enjoy listening and got what you and yeah, feel educated or something though, and there's probably more that I probably should be saying as well, so there might be another podcast like that as well. So well people, happy Earth Day, and feel free as well people, well, if you haven't actually subscribed to Eco Liberty as well, feel free to hit the subscribe as well, and also hit the like especially if you are a climate skeptic or something, and all the yeah, or what the left wing will call us, a climate denier. Yeah, so well, feel free to hit the like as well, and also hit the bell as well so you'll be notified as well, and also that's also on both on YouTube and Bitchute as well, so because the reason why I do have Bitchute though, because all the censorship that's going on YouTube as well, so that's why I do have that Bitchute channel as well, but although I don't have many subscribers on that, well, but there's still be a possibility that my channel could get taken down one day, so people watch my videos as well, spread it far and wide, and and I wish you a good night as well people. Bye bye.